Good morning, guys, and welcome. I'm so happy and stoked to have you on a success call this morning, Camren and JT, the Berry family. Now, you guys have had tremendous success. You guys are closing deals one after the other, like it's like feeding your child in the morning. It just becomes so easy and like a routine for you guys. And so I just want to find out today from you boys, what is it exactly that makes you so successful? So, Cameron and JT, if you can give me a little bit of an overview of where you've come from, where you've started, and since you've been joining us, where you find yourselves now. Cameron and JT, over to you.
Camren, if you want to start.
Yeah. So we've been working out in our market here in Arizona for a couple of years now. One of the biggest challenges is that we work in a market that is highly saturated with a lot of competition. And so finding a good lead source that can build some consistency has always been kind of a challenge. We've had to test some things out, been unsuccessful in a lot of different avenues, finding ones that kind of work, but it was really hard to build some sort of consistency. And so, we had success enough to continue, but we were really looking for that solid, weekly, daily, monthly lead flow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fantastic. And yourself, JT? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that from a mind point. It's like in a business such as this one, it's kind of like a job. No matter how far you get, you always have to be searching for that next opportunity, and you always have to have different avenues to take down opportunities. So for us, it's the willingness to continue to execute, to continue to try new things, continue to test things out. And like I said, it's just that willingness on top of the practicality that Cameron mentioned.
Absolutely. And I think the fact that, as you say, JT, that willingness is what makes the difference, because people see that you do, you're not just there to get a quick deal, or to get, make a quick buck, but to actually be willing to help these people and to fix the problem, and I think that is so important. And I think this is really partially part of your success, is because you and Cameron really goes that extra mile. Now, when we look at your results driven, let's talk about a few numbers. If you look at a good, a fairly good deal, what type of numbers are we looking at?
Well, on the first deal that we closed, once we finally settled everything else, we were able to make $20,000 on that opportunity. It ended up working well for the seller. They were looking to sell. There was a lot of competition. We've built up our buyer opportunities, so we were actually able to make a better offer than what she had gotten, and so we were able to make a good deal for her. She ended up making 20,000 more on her house than what she was going to get, and we also made the same amount, so it worked out for us. When we also closed another deal, these sellers, they were looking to move quickly. They were trying to move out of state, but they were running into a lot of challenges. They couldn't get it on the market, and they needed to close in a couple of weeks. We made about 5,000 on the deal at the end of it, but we had some really happy sellers that were able to get moved, and in a timely manner.
And that's fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant. Now, looking at these figures, approximately how many deals would you guys say you would close during a month?
Right now, we're closing at least a deal a month. Once we started working with this system, we consistently getting a contract or two a month and being able to close one a month.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. And to reverse a little bit and just to have a look at your techniques, we spoke about follow-up, Cameron and JT. What would your follow-up technique be? And I mean, we introduced you guys to follow up like a beast mode. Do you guys feel that this has really worked for you? And then also the type of leads that you're getting. Are you guys happy with what's happening with you?
So the type of leads, I don't want to say it's irrelevant, but we found a way and not as important. And so what I mean by that is, because it's only me and Cameron, we had a bigger team in the past, but because it's only us right now, the way we do things, it's not so black and white every single time, but we try to stay strict with the approach in that, he confirms if they set an appointment, Cameron will reach out, he'll confirm that appointment. If they didn't, he'll reach out and try to schedule an appointment. We'll try to get all of our information, do our due diligence. And then once I talk to them, we'll go ahead and handle the negotiations. Once that's done and we
Yes.
do an agreement, Camren will come back in and coordinate the rest of the transaction with title and with the buyers to a close. And so with that approach, we keep it very simple. We pretty much know where we are at all times, which is when you're working on a few deals at a time, you get kind of lost. So that helps keep track. And also over time, I think because we've been in business for a good amount of time now, we kind of just learned our strengths, and those roles were kind of naturally carved out from that process. So.
Yeah, you guys have really become an absolutely brilliant team. You work so well together when I just listened to this. Now, if you had to give advice to some of our new clients out there, or even people thinking of joining, what is the advice in regards to closing a deal? What kind of advice would you give the newbies?
Patience.
Yeah.
So it's a process. In order to get to the point where you're able to close a deal, you have to figure out how do I say on the marketing side, right? We have to. I think a big reason this worked for us is because our willingness to communicate with you. So that way we can figure out the process, because with any type of marketing, it's not going to be perfect. You have to go there, you have to figure out the process. And so just patience, for me, that was my biggest thing. And Camren, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I had to scream that one out. It's just because sometimes, it might take 2 to 3 months when you start a new process, especially in real estate, right? And so just don't get
Absolutely.
discouraged and constantly think through how you can make whatever's happening work, or if you could change it to make it work for you or fit into the system you already have, or change the system you have, depending on where you are at the moment. So it's just patience, honestly. And through patience, the answers will always reveal themselves.
And
Absolutely. Patience, definitely the virtue. Yeah. Yeah, go for it, Camren.
yeah, and I would say too that when you have someone who brings you a good working process, use the process. There's a reason why it's successful for many people. And two, when you're not selling a house, right? You're selling to a person, right? A person wants to buy with you because of you, not necessarily so much on just a house. Because when they come to you with a problem, they need someone to come up with a solution. And so if you can find out, if you can be a good
Yes.
solution for somebody, then you have more opportunities that come your way. And so finding out how you can be the solution person is how you can make yourself successful.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I love the idea, as I said to somebody else the other day, Zig Ziglar always used to say, if you give enough people what they need, you will surely get what you want. And I can see that you guys live by that, which I absolutely love about you. Um, a last little thing that you would say to anybody that would like to join Hesel Media, what would your recommendation be?
I would say that they have Hesel Media has a really good working process, a good follow-up system for getting in leads, and it's not a done for you system, right? You have to apply it and use it and try and get creative in how you can utilize every opportunity that comes your way. But they have the way to drop nuggets on your lap. You just got to make sure you use them well.
The only
Thank you
thing I
so
would
much for
say,
that, Cameron.
Mhm.
yeah, the only thing I
Go
would
for it,
say
JT.
is this is the most important thing to me with any partnership: communication. So, throughout the entire process so far, I've had my concerns or things that I was
Mhm.
unclear on, but you guys have done, a fantastic job at communicating. So there was nothing lingering, and that's usually my biggest issue with anyone. So that's huge for me, because with communication you can really get through any problem. So
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Cameron and JT. I'm just loving having you guys on my team, and I'm looking forward to some more great successes and hearing from all your great successes. And I'm sure I'm pretty soon going to have another happy call. I call it happy calls. It's actually success calls, but we're happy when we get this call, because that makes us realize that how successful you guys are. So I just want to thank you both for all that patience, and of course, your dedication to Hesel Media as well, and also following our process the way you do. You guys are absolutely brilliant at what you do, and I'm really, really stoked to have you on my team. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Janine, for everything so far. So.
Thank you.